we won't become robots in the Messianic age, meaning when Mashiach comes, it's not like no one will have a brain. It's just everything will be obvious. We now live in a olam hasheker, in a world of lies. We live in a time when people think what is sweet is bitter and what is bitter is sweet. What is dark is light and what is light is dark. But when Mashiach comes, it will be an olam ha'emes, a world of truth, where everyone will understand the truth. But still, people will make mistakes. Just like I use as an example, I like to cook, and I'm sure you do too, right? So sometimes you're making something for yourself in the kitchen. In short, I'm sure there are times when you inadvertently burn yourself in the kitchen. You inadvertently touch a pot that's hot. Inadvertently, when you're cutting some salad, you're not paying attention carefully, and you cut yourself. And what do you say after you cut yourself? What's the second thing you say? You say, I'm so stupid. Why do people cut themselves in the kitchen when preparing food? Why do people burn themselves in the kitchen when cooking? Because they're not paying attention, right? If people would pay attention, they would never cut themselves. So it happens that in the Messianic age, even if the Mashiach comes, people will still make mistakes. They'll be sloppy. They'll be careless. And as such, there is a offering, Leviticus chapter 4, that's assigned Dafka specifically for unintentional sins. That will still continue. The Mashiach himself, the Prince himself, will bring an offering. Dafka, it says, you have to look it up, Ezekiel 45, verse 20, 21, 20 and 22. And it says there, for unintentional sins. This, of course, is a monumental issue for Christians. Today, it means it won't be then. When Mashiach comes, all the Christians will feel very, very sorry. I pray that they'll repent beforehand, but all the Christians will do tshuva. But now it's a shocker. Now this is a very big problem for Christians. Why is this a problem for Christians? Because in the Christian Bible, it says explicitly that sacrificial system, animal sacrificial system, is coming to an end. First of all, the book of Hebrews, which is a book that is an explicit assault on the Jewish faith. 13 chapters in the epistle to the Hebrews is dedicated to showing why Christianity is true and Judaism, although once was true, is no longer true. And the book of Hebrews argues that all the commandments of Torah are only a shadow, of foreshadowing the future, and the sacrificial system comes to an end. See Hebrews chapter 10, verse 18. The entire sacrificial system was only a foreshadowing of the sacrifice in the future. See Hebrews 10, verse 5, openly. And the book of Hebrews is able to maneuver this epistle. A few weeks ago, I called it the book of Hebrews, and one Christian said, it's the epistle to the Hebrews. It's correct. It's a letter. It doesn't really matter. 27 books. Most of them are letters. But the key is that the epistle to the Hebrews makes it clear that sacrifices are done. The same thing, Paul says the same thing in Romans chapter 6. So in Christian theology, there's not going to be any animal sacrifices in the Messianic age. Some Christians don't know what to do with these passages and suggest that the sacrifices that come into view in TaNaCh and the Hebrew Bible in the Messianic age are a retrospective memorial to the sacrificial system that once existed. This is completely incorrect because it says openly it's for unintentional sins, for sins that are committed mipesi b'shogeg, sins that are committed unintentionally because people are being careless. An unintentional sin is not a sin that's committed that you just don't even realize you're committing the sin. As an example, let's say you're walking in your living room and by accident you touch something that kindles a light on, And just because your elbow hit it, that's not an unintentional sin. You didn't even realize you were doing it. It means you knew you were doing it, you just didn't realize you're not allowed to do it. You didn't realize it was Shabbos, and so on. So therefore, this is the most important feature of the Messianic age, that all the nations will know the emes, all the nations will know the truth. And what are we doing here? What am I doing here? The whole purpose of this broadcast is that people will repent now. People will do tshuva now. But all the nations in the Messianic age will go, whoa, I made a terrible mistake, and they'll come to the Jewish people, and they'll learn the truth, they'll learn the emes, and they'll want to know the truth. And we look forward to this day. May we see the coming of the true Mashiach, b'mheira b'yameinu, quickly in our time. Great question.
Shalom, my dear friends. Hope this message finds you well. If you like the way this channel is going, and the channel has been a blessing to you, please consider supporting the channel by going to the website, TaNaChTalk.com, TaNaChTalk.com. Thank you once again for your time and for supporting TaNaCh Talk. Shalom.
תמיד כולם ביחד, חשוב מכל חשוב והכרחי להיות ביחד. איפוק זו העוצמה, ויתור זו הגדולה, השאיפה